All right, coach has been dragging his feet on this one, but it's because he's just really got the goods. And it's like when you already put it in the hole, it's like, I mean, all it's left for me to do is tell it to you. But it's not as exciting as finding it. Although I'm sure once you watch this video, you'll forgive Coach for being a little lazy on this one. I was gonna be even lazier, waiting until like tomorrow night or something. It's just like, oh, whatever. But basically, what Coach is doing is he's just gonna put the NFL in the ground for this year. Obviously, we got already unlocked next year. Nothing's changing as far as the picks. I will still say as great as the Commanders, Chiefs story is, I guess there is a world where it could be Commanders Bills for some bizarre reason. Right, that's the only other team that even remotely scares me. But basically, Coach was like terrified about the Lions getting the bye week, and he had an idea of how he needed the bracket to look for him to not be too scared. Like there were some scenarios where like if there were teams mixed around a certain way, it's like, well, it's just not us. But we got exactly the way we wanted, and even more importantly, Coach found his like Rocky Colavito, basically, and it's just in the bag. It's good. The Commanders are way good. So buy Commander stock now. If you like Stanford, great time to buy their stock. Their odds were just doubled. Yeah, so I got some crazy value on some Stanford bets. If they hold with Ohio State and Commanders alone, I'm good for six figures off literally $1 worth of bets. It's bananas, and I'm sure I'm good for way more than that. That's just what I put down right here. And I'm not gonna show you any of my bets this time, but we pretty much got an idea what to do there. I just want to show you how to do it if you ever wanted to do it. So, oh man, so boring. Like just these little pity storylines with what I got at the end here. Alrighty. Lions coordinators may take part in head coaching interviews early. Oh man, that's gonna have them distracted. And then Coach was deep diving the Super Bowl losses. This one's there's so much weirdness happening. But anyway, thought it was interesting that when the Commanders lost to the Raiders, who are in the Chiefs conference, that was the most points scored by an AFC team in the Super Bowl until the Chiefs matched it just a minute ago. So thought that was interesting. Nice little Chiefs connection there. Oh, the MVP was Marcus Allen, like Marcus Mariota. National anthem sung by Barry Manilow. $368,000. Cost 30-second commercial. 46.4. That's a palindrome. None of this is even remotely exciting. This is what I thought I was gonna have to do, and then it's just like smacked right in the face. Like, oh, here we go. Yeah, this was an easy one. You might have. This is okay. Well, let's move on. So this Super Bowl was when they did the 1984 Mac commercial. Like I meant to take a clip of that commercial, but it's an iconic commercial. You've probably seen it. It's very Big Brother-esque. Definitely fits the vibe of this channel. I should probably reshoot this whole video just to put that in here. I'll tag it at the end probably. And then let's see. Rams were in LA back then too. The Ramskins. That's nice. So this Super Bowl was in Tampa. Our skins are going against Tampa. The owners meeting was in Detroit. Let's see, anything else? Oh, yeah, nothing. Okay. Just got really scared. There's one I gotta make sure I don't miss in this. And the rest I don't care too much about until we get to the really good stuff. Charlie Brown was a main deep threat for him. Yo, this is a big one. This wasn't what I was looking for. I forgot about this, but check this out. Their opponent was Eric Dickerson. The year he went bananas, and like there's your 242 palindrome. But this was the year he set the single season rushing record at 1808. You dropped the one. It's a palindrome. 18 touchdowns. 1808 18. So there you go. But yeah, so they shut him down, and what do you know? if, all they got to do is pull their upset right here, and they'll be facing off against Dickerson, the center, and the leading rusher in the league, Saquon, who missed the mark by only 100 yards. And then Dick Stockton. Ooh, who's that? Mitch Marotta. Interesting, right? I think I somehow messed up and never got to Rich Marotta. That's crazy. He was like the one I was most excited about, but tell me that's so we got Marcus and Marotta. You can buy this as Marcus Marotta. It's pretty close to Marcus Mariota. I think you'll agree. Let's see. They paid tribute to George Halas of the Bears. The Commanders had beaten the Bears in an NFL championship way back in the day. That's the 42 championship, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Don Hasselbeck. Steph Curry's Warriors got smoked by 30 at the hands of the Kings. That's the type of shit that might make him want to leave for LA, huh? And then, let's see. Rookie of the Kings made his debut with father on the opposing bench. Let's see. So this is interesting.
In the college football playoffs. The last time the Ducks were in the CFP was 2014, and so many things have changed between now and then. So to break it all down, KEZI 9 sports reporter Brett Taylor has brought in a special guest to help out.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that the time has almost arrived. Oregon football is just days away from taking the field once again at the Rose Bowl, but more importantly in the college football playoffs, a journey that's been 10 years in the making since the last time the Ducks entered the CFP, when former Oregon Duck quarterback Marcus Mariota took the Ducks to the promised land. And look who it is joining us in studio. It's Marcus Mariota. Marcus, first of all, just how have you been, man? How's the family? How's life? Just how's everything treating you?
Been great. Very, very fortunate to be here.
So yeah, basically, isn't it interesting? So the Ducks hadn't been in the playoffs since Mariota was there. And what do you know? They're the number one team going in. They host Ohio State, who we think is going to win the whole thing. So they get an honorable exit when you're looking back like, oh, they just got foiled by the team that was better than every other team. It's not some embarrassing loss. I do think the Texas game is going to be extremely close because they're only giving us 4.5 points or 5.5 depending on the sports book. So I think it's going to be like a 4-point game. I think this is going to be the scary one, and then we roll Penn State. Not that I think Texas is like all that, but there's got to be one that's exciting. We've had 2 blowouts so far, and they were just in a thriller with Arizona State. So I think this is going to be like the iconic one, and then the Penn State one will just be a complete rout. So, of course, they're saying Mariota's the best backup in the NFL. 25% of Commanders fan base thinks he'll be a starter for a team next season. Doesn't say what team. I wonder what percentage of that 25% believe it will be the Commanders. Super Mariota. Let's see. Tobin wrote. Let me get into that. Let's see. Yes, we did, because I got one here. Basically, Tobin wrote was just the man. I've talked about him before, but he was the, they always wanted to get Foles like, he invented the backup win in the Super Bowl, but like Tobin was the first dual threat quarterback, and he was a backup going into the season. The season prior, he led the league in passing yards. Like, look, 56 right there, so, he shouldn't have been benched. He shouldn't have been a backup. I think they probably traded for him, and he was like another starter. I don't know. Can't remember exactly. I know he came from the Packers in some capacity. Let's see. Yeah, he's like considered the original mobile quarterback. Only quarterback to lead his team to both an NFL and AFL championship. How gnarly is that? Rote's the man. Nobody talks about this dude. So that's all I gotta say there. Rote's how I found Hendon. Right, I knew I was looking for mobile. I was like, well, it's not gonna be Bobby Lane. We're looking for Rote probably, right? And because they traded Bobby Lane, that would have been Stafford, right? So we want Rote because we're only getting one anyway. We're not getting a few. And then let's see, Kristen Bell, Dak Shepard, watch Lions game. over Harrison Ford at Golden Globes. You think that shit's real? Why would they need to even tell? Like, couldn't they have just watched it without bothering anybody? Like, it happens to be Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie. So there you go. Let's see. And like Bell and Shepard both raised in Metro Detroit. Like, these aren't like A list. You know what I mean? Like, these are like B list. You know what I mean? So let's see. And probably even C list in his case. So I think whoever this Robbie Williams dude is also Eminem, because he thinks that he was Eminem while making whatever his dumb shit is. That's almost the same thing as 8 Mile. So I was thinking about Bomba, because of course Trevor brought it up, and I know I already covered it, but I basically just want to say, like, my ultimate verdict is that it's just a Trevor mentioned that it's like cheap and thrown together and all that sort of stuff. Well, yeah, but like when they do that, it's always like intentional, right? Like nothing's ever like actually cheap and thrown together. So why are they making it look like that? Because they want you to know it's just some bullshit thing. It's just a Tyson ritual, like Tyson's back on, right? So they got to do some little thing, and it's like, who better to erase Tyson's legacy than someone who doesn't fucking matter at all? You know what I mean? Like, make it as insulting as possible, just another Jake Paul type. But you know what I mean? So just fuel that fire for Tyson. That's good for Tyson. Anything of his getting eclipsed and make him feel like he's not as comfortable as he used to be. Like, oh, maybe my records aren't just going to sit there forever. I got to pat him a little bit. That's what we need. And then we'll circle back to the matchups. But basically, coach is just going to hit them all here. Vikings, Rams. I don't have a call, but the Rams winning and somehow beating the Lions and getting to the NFC Championship, and we get the Ramskins matchup. Please don't think that is a way of trying to avoid the Lions. I've got the drop on the Lions. You do not need to worry about the Commanders versus the Lions, I assure you. You wait for that, and that's not even the good stuff. And then there's just, the Commanders themselves are completely set, but specifically against the Lions, they would smack them up for sure. Let's see. So we obviously got beaten the Bucs. Eagles, Packers, we're just taking the Eagles. We want the better team. We'll beat the shit out of them again with Mariota, hopefully. And then, that may be where Mariota starts. Like, Jaden may, I could see Jaden just torching the Bucs, but, taking some shot late in the game that, just puts his knee over the top. You know what I mean? He just can't play. So then that's where we get Mariota time versus the Eagles, and everybody's, super nervous about it, but he just smokes them. And then, moving on from that one, it would obviously be Ramskins or Lions or the Vikings. The Vikings is the least appealing of the three. I'm hoping the Ramskins just beat the Vikings. But if the Vikings beat the Rams, it's pretty much assured. I'm thinking that we're playing the Lions. I just cannot. I haven't looked into it, but the Redskins Vikings just seem so lame on that one side. So this is why I think I figured out. Okay, so I thought it was so weird. So they did a lot of predictive programming in week one. We got a lot of week one matchups that came back again in the playoffs. And they told us at the time, well, wouldn't these be nice to be an early playoff matchup? Like the Eagles-Packers one specifically comes to mind as one they predictive programmed. And then, week one, we had the Bucs and Commanders too. But, of course, some of the teams didn't even face off at all. But one matchup we had during the season that they said, all the owners are buzzing about what a great Super Bowl this would be for the league. And it was when the Bills and the Lions matched up. And I'm pretty sure the Bills actually beat them. But that makes me, positive. Not that I wasn't already. But positive that the Bills are getting to the AFC Championship game. And it's going to be Chiefs-Bills on the other side, because if you're kidding on the Commanders, that's the toughest two to pick from. I always smack the 190, whatever. And then, the Chiefs one is just, anybody would love to beat the Chiefs right now, but specifically the Native American stuff, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's any chance the Bills are getting to the Super Bowl. I think it's Chiefs all the way. But my point is, I think it's for sure a lock that the Bills are going to get there because they're going to hype that shit up again. Like, oh, it's going to be Bills, Lions, and it's neither. Right? It's Chiefs. And like, because they're going to be able to sell the Chiefs, the Bills as the Chiefs as an underdog at that point somehow because the Bills beat them head to head. You know what I mean? Even though it's going to be in Arrowhead. And the Bills just aren't. It's just going to be the same story all over again. And that's going to be the death nail Bills curse. That's going to be the last time the Chiefs get to beat the Bills before that entire thing blows up. In my opinion, I think everything's going off the rails. We got Kelce going to Cleveland. We got Mahomes going to Dallas. Right. So basically, that's what I see there. I'm actually pulling for the Steelers over the Ravens just because it'd be funny. Chargers, Texans, I don't have much of a dog in that fight. That's just a stinker. And the Chiefs, like, it just screams they're going to roll either one of those teams. Like, how could they possibly lose that one? So it seems like you can just pencil the Chiefs into the AFC Championship like we wanted to do anyway. You know what I mean? So I absolutely not going to make a pick there, although the Texans seem like they're struggling even more than the Chargers as of late. So I'm sure there's some angle there I'm not seeing. That's some huge coincidence, right? There's some player sitting there. There's some coach, right? Maybe Harbaugh somehow has a Reed connection, some stupid stuff like that. And then let's see, like, yeah, so obviously nothing. We pretty much covered the whole thing there. Now Barry Manilow, Barry Allen Pincus. Could it be magic? You love it. He is definitely an actor that I've seen a billion times. I cannot believe I can't place it. Oh, yeah, I made a joke. That's who it is. That's what I actually thought. I bought that, though. Let's see, 6 multi-platinums. I don't want to spend too much time on Barry Manilow, but we did get something interesting. So, Brooklyn. Okay.
Shake your body, baby, do the...
Oh, yeah, so it's like Miami Sound Machine. So, like, he... Those last lights, you get that song, I don't need to make your little thing. And then... Let's see. Obviously, turn the beat around. Gloria Estefan, we care about because of Charlie Sheen. 67. Uh-oh. Watch out, Gloria. Has she been a low-key, like, Browns or Lions curse this whole time? Guess she couldn't have been a Browns one this whole time, so they won one. But back in the 60s. Agent Orange. There's a whole lot of stuff here, but I'm so... Oh my god, yes, there's just so many bangers in this one. Coach is just fucking rolling. So you're telling me Coach is crazy, he's hot on these motherfuckers, like, what type of people he thinks they are, and I'm straight dealing with the government. What do you fucking know here? In 1984, she's approached by the CIA as a possible employee. Wonder what happened there, she's turned it down. Yeah, alright. Yeah, so she's in the CIA, as Coach would have already told you, and the CIA writes all their stupid songs, especially someone like Estevan, who's used for, like, Cuban relations, right? Same with, like, Scorpions with The Wind of Time and Toby Keith. Like, they don't write their songs, it's the fucking CIA. So, there you go, probably a machine that they use. Let's see. Oh my god, Elmo Palooza. How did I click on that? Connie Francis. Like, she had some sort of connection there. Like, oh yeah, she was gonna play Connie Francis, so I think she is Connie Francis. So, Concetta. She's alive in 87. She should be safe for now, hopefully. She's got at least 2 years. Maybe she'll make it 12. Let's see, 10, whatever, 11, I don't know. And then let's see, anything so there. Another Brooklyn. is just like the German Amelia Estefan, or Gloria Estefan. Let's see, but yeah, I thought it was funny. So Barry did the OneSkins halftime show, did a song with Miami Sound Machine, and then what do you know? Gloria Estefan does the Bills Skins halftime show. She also has a song, Put Your Mask On. You have to suffer through a minute of it.
They say stay home, please don't go outside. There's no use dying.
Oof. So he teamed up with Don Bluth. So Don Bluth, if you're not familiar, he was with Disney during like its golden age, but then when he left, he took a lot of their best animators with him. He went on to do like Land Before Time, Anastasia, American Tail, a bunch of other stuff. You know, they're like iconic films from childhood. One of my favorites was The Pebble and the Penguin. I like his like more serious ones too. But let's see. And a lot of people like that dinosaurs one, The Parade. Let's see. Yeah, so the Tennessee Titans had like the worst attendance ever. They're flashing the Oilers logo. Coach has officially decided he just wants the Titans to straight up fold as soon as possible, so that the Texans can get back on. And then Browns are in the news because they started putting the anthem on during their game, where it's like the ESPN wasn't playing it before. Coach was thinking how pissed he is that there's no Baltimore Bullets. Like, how does the Baltimore have an NFL team and not an NBA team? Like, Washington Wizards are so whack. We need the Baltimore Bullets back. So coach is calling that they're going to get rid of the Wizards, and we're going to get the Baltimore Bullets back. And I want an NBA Finals, Baltimore Bullets versus Oklahoma City Bombers. It'd be the hardest shit ever, and you know it. And let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Same thing I'm saying. You get it. Coach was randomly looking at the 2007 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl because that was the last time since Bo Scatabo, or whatever his name is, Scatabo, that a losing team's player won MVP. And what do you know? It was Tommy versus Tommy. Tommy Bowden versus Tommy Tuberville. I wish I would have clicked on them. Watson both have like the middle name Allen or some shit. I can't believe I didn't look. I'll have to remember to do it later. I'll just screenshot it. It's interesting. I'll report back. And then, so yeah, we know Penn State, Notre Dame. So Notre Dame has like the rest excuse. You know, like they had to get their game postponed. That's never good. There was something else they have working against them too that I can't remember specifically right off. I do want to mention that the Browns did actually play spoiler to the Ravens a bit. They knocked out their 2-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. So that's devastating for the Ravens going into the playoffs. The Commanders are overwhelmingly the favorite team to upset in the wild card round, more so than all 3 other teams combined. Isn't that wild? That's just on CBS, not like some Commander site. So that's pretty wild. Nobody thinks the Steelers are going to do it. That's bananas to me. I think it would be way more like, I know like the Eagles blew it last year, but you know, the Ravens aren't all that in this division. You know, and the Steelers already got them once, so. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So coach just wanted to hype up Stanford for you. So like we know all the connections with like they won a championship before, you know, and then they like helped revolutionize the game with like the jump shot, that sort of stuff. But you know, they're playing nerd ball, so like there's a coaching angle, but we need a player, right? Like we want like a Michael Jordan type or something like that, right? And we don't have that. We got like a Nowitzki type. But this dude is legit. He is top 10 in the country in both scoring and rebounds. And he can shoot. So here's him putting up 33 and 14 on some scrub team. But this dude is 7'1" and just strokes it. I mean, that is wet. Like, no way this kid's not going to be an NBA player. Look at that jumper. And coach has officially decided that he thinks all the players are robots. It's like a Rock'em Sock'em robot type situation. That's why they're able to do everything. And the ball's probably not even there. It's like a hologram or all the tech in it. Who knows? Somehow just a giant video game. It's probably projections of robots. They probably have robots do this stuff, and then they project you, or just the recreation of what they did in the lab. That was just an assist. But yeah, Stanford just lost 2 games, so it would have been nice to win. But they were like expected losses, and they were both on the road. Like I said, Stanford, we expect to get better throughout the season. It's their first year with a new coach, and that's really where they fell apart. They looked lost and confused. So it's either bad coaching or growing pains, right? And we're hoping it's growing pains. I'm hoping growing pains from them not fully trusting nerdball, right? They just need to buy into nerdball. That's what coach is hoping the story is. But it makes sense to him. And keep in mind, this is number 42 as well. Like, this is number 42, just happens to be top 10 in scoring and rebounds. Like, you can't hate that, right? Okay, so moving on. So, let's look at every team going into the playoffs. Who's hot at the right time? Is it the Lions? They're pretty hot, but they dropped one to the Bills just 3 games ago. So they're riding a 3-game winning streak, at least 4 of the last 5. More than that, but, we're going from last loss. So they're on a 3-game win streak. Respectable loss to the Bills, of course, but a loss to loss. So 3-game win streak. And also they've used up a lot of their wins. Not that's actually a thing, but you know what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's better to not win as many games, seems like. So the Chiefs, how are they doing? Oh, yeah, they just got stomped by the Broncos. They're riding a 0-game win streak. That's not good for them. The Eagles, they are only riding back-to-back because of our Commanders. So you gotta love that. And then the Bills dropped to the Pats. I know it's a meaningless game, but then they also had that Rams one not too long ago, so even without that, would have been at most a 4-game winning streak, even if you give them that Patriots one. Let's see, let's look at the Buccaneers. So the Buccaneers are riding back-to-back with a loss to Dallas. Ooh, our Commanders beat Dallas. That's not that impressive. This would be the Ravens. The Ravens have won 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Lost to the Eagles, respectable loss. They're in like the Lions camp, basically, right? These are the 2 most impressive teams we've seen so far, would be Ravens and Lions. And then, Chiefs, if you're just doing 4 of the last 5, not win streak. And then let's see, this would be the Rams. So the Rams lost their most recent. They were riding a 4-game win streak before that. But, yep, they just dropped to the Seahawks. They're riding a 0-game win streak. That's not good. Texans. Oof. They won 1 against the Titans, but that was after losing back-to-back to Ravens and Chiefs. I mean, those are tough teams, but those teams are going to see again in the playoffs probably. So, and then I think the Vikings, they just lost to the Lions. They had 4 in a row before that, so they're basically in the same camp as like Lions and Ravens. If you're doing 4 of the last 5, these would be the 3 most impressive teams so far. We got the Chargers. They're riding a 3-game win streak. They let up a 40-burger to the Buccaneers and lost the Chiefs right before that, back-to-back losses. So not great, 3 in a row, but we'll take any of the other 3 before that. Who we got here? This would be the Steelers. They just lost to the Bengals. They lost to the Chiefs before that, lost to the Ravens before that, lost to the Eagles before that. So 4-game losing streak. We love it because we think they're trash. And it definitely looks so. This would be the Packers. How are they doing? They just lost the Bears. Before that, they lost the Vikings. Not too long ago, they lost the Lions. They've lost 3 out of their last 5, including 2 in a row. Not great. And then Broncos, they stomped the Chiefs. Before that, they lost the Bengals. Before that, they lost the Chargers. They had 2 losses back-to-back right before this most recent win. And the Chiefs were playing for nothing. And then look at our Commanders. Boom. 5 in a row. 40 burger on the Titans. Had to stop a 2-point conversion with no time left to beat the Saints. To beat the Eagles, epic comeback. Didn't allow a touchdown after the first quarter. And then Falcons game. Was that like the last second touchdown, or was the Cowboys? The Cowboys one was the last second touchdown, right? The Falcons one was an OT, right? So there's just, and then of course for that we had the Bears Hail Mary. So it's just the most exciting team ever. That happens to be hot as hell. 5 games in a row heading into the playoffs, and they got 2 quarterbacks that can seemingly get the job done. Let's see. So there's a second shot. Why does he need a second shot? Because he blew it the first time. Give us Mariota. Myles Garrett is the 3-season sack record leader, like, of all time. Like, nobody over a 3-year span has had 14. I thought this was a bullshit one, and I looked it up. I checked it against Al Bubba Baker. Even the great Bubba Baker never did it. He did. I would still take his 4-year stretch over Garrett. You know, that's just a stupid, arbitrary, like, pick a number, and 14, nobody's ever done that. Like, that's cool. That's his record. But you'd rather have Bubba Baker's 4-year span. I mean, dude came into the league and gave you 23 sacks his first season. And then 17 and a half. Yeah, it dropped to 9 after that. That's got to be 14 per, right? Like, I had to do the math, but let's see, 39 plus we'll round up with the 17 and a half, so 39 plus 18, that's 57. Look, it's 56 and a half. So 65, 14 times 4. He's literally like right at it. So they're pretty much steady. I'll go with the Garrett. He's definitely hustling out there. I guess that 5 really made a difference. So yeah. I guess the math just adds up. That's crazy how that works like that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Zay Flowers, this dude that got smacked. And then, what do you know? So here's where we're going to start getting to the really good stuff. Not that I've already dropped gems already. I can't believe it's been a half hour. Alrighty, Ravens, Kyle Hamilton shares Sean Taylor inspiration. So that's cool. You know, someone's inspired by Sean Taylor. He wanted to be like him because he saw him in the Pro Bowl. The Commanders are, after years of dragging their feet on the Memorial, what do you know? They're getting around to fixing it. And then it's a wireframe. Left me disappointed, so they fixed it. It's like, look all great. So they had it where like you couldn't see a good wireframe. Yeah, you want it to be clear. So I guess it looks like that now. That's sick. And then let's see. So they sold the team for $6 billion. Okay. I want to skip that because I didn't want you to see, like, you know, the thing I was going to point out. But also, like, you know, he was murdered, right? Someone broke into his home to rob from him and killed him. Like, that's tragic, right? And let's see. His son just declared for the 2025 NFL draft, dude. How sick is that? We're going to get to the really good part. If you didn't see it on the last screen. Okay, so it's been 17 years, right? How many 17s have we seen this year with Harbaugh? Being 17 years in the league, etc. So let's see. Commanders player, childhood idol, Sean Taylor. How old was Sean Taylor when he died? 24 years old. Damn, that's young, dude, to be such a legend. It just happens to be the Commanders' number. It just happens to be a team that won the 42 Super Bowl. So there you go. Coach did a rebrand. How nice does that look? That is classy. I know you like that. We lost 1 subscriber. Is what it is. Coach only counts 3 subscribers. We got our co-MVPs in Boston Allen. You know, so you know what it is. Coach thinks, you know, if you got 196 subscribers and you only got like 3 people that have like ever commented, you either got a lot of haters or a lot of bots. probably a combination of both. We got hater bots and haters and bots. That's everybody. That's not you three supporting me. Is who's in here. That's what Coach believes. But yeah, tell me you don't love that. That is clean. So in case you don't get the joke, it's Coach from Cheers, the character Coach, and then that font is from the show Coach. So we got Coach on Coach. Very nice. And then Sam Malone of Cheers. A coach thinks he was actually a pitcher for the Red Sox. His character mentions that he was a member of the 75 AL champion Red Sox. So coach wants to look and see if he can spot who that was. He reprised a role in the 86 World Series. He might have even been on that team. I'll bet he was. I'll bet that's what that means. Goes look at that too. Alright, let's see. Intended to be a former wide receiver from the New England Patriots. But they had to change it for Danson because they couldn't get the football player. So they probably had a specific football player they were going to cast it in. They're like, oh, we're going to go with Danson instead, so let's make it a baseball player. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, so these are all the teams that matched up already. So the Rams took the Vikings earlier this season. Could they do it again? So a lot of people wouldn't think about that. That's one of the Vikings' only 3 losses all season. Those are the Rams. What do you know, right? Chargers and Texans did not meet. Commanders and Buccaneers, we got smoked, but we didn't have Marcus Mariota. And then, of course, Steelers and Ravens met twice and split. Eagles took the Packers in the earlier meeting. They also got the Kirk Cousins curse, though. And then, let's see. Yeah, Bills and Broncos did not meet. Of course, looking forward to next round. Our Eagles and Commanders split. We got the thrilling upset. Reasons for it to be Commanders Packers if it does happen. I mean, of course, Lombardi did coach the Redskins. So there's that. Here's your forget about the Lions shit if you weren't feeling good enough already from the Sean Taylor stuff. Redskins are 3-0 against the Lions in the playoffs all time. And that's been covered up well by some recency bias. And so just, for the record, 82 wild card NFC Championship game in 91. So this could be like a repeat of that one. Oh, 91. Dude, so the last one we won the Super Bowl, we beat their ass in the NFC Championship. You like that shit? Alrighty. So, and, to let people forget that this is, reality, they let the Lions rack up some meaningless wins against the Commanders lately. So they've won like 6 of the last 7. 6 of the last 7, yes. They absolutely dominated. The Commanders won 3 in a row before that. But all-time series, still blowing them out. Think about that. You take those 2, 4, 6 away. They only had 10 wins to 30 losses against the Commanders. The Commanders own the fucking Lions, dude. So this is awesome. Oh, this made Coach so mad. So you can act like everybody knows the Ravens. So just because one time they were 12 years apart and had a quarterback with the same age, they're going to do it 12 years later with the quarterback. Just happens to be the dumbest shit I ever saw in my life. It's not even a good one at all. So the Peach Bowl, Tommy versus Tommy. Okay, so we're back at the beginning. Coach brought it home. Appreciate you. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments. Coach says Commanders, absolute lock. Still feel really good about Stanford. They're in a special. They're still an official pick. Can't say absolute lock. Their odds are like crazy. It's not nearly as close as Ohio State or Commanders. I like the Commanders even more than I like Ohio State. At this point, the Bucks would be just behind the two of them, I'd say. Guardians above all of them. And then above that, of course, Lions over the Browns next year. I keep forgetting that Kansas is on the books for next year in basketball. That's near the bottom of the list, but it is an official pick. And then like the cutoff would be non-official pick, but feeling pretty good about it. Oilers winning the Stanley Cup feels about right. So that's what we're keeping an eye on there. I haven't put a single dime on them though. So like I said, we're beneficial picks only. We got more than enough to go around. So cheers.